Dr. Sudhir Krishna is the former secretary of the erstwhile Ministry of Urban Development, Government of India, and is a senior urban policy leader who steered major national programs, including JNNURM and the early design of the Smart Cities mission. He has chaired standards committees on smart city frameworks, serves as a national resource person for DOPT on leadership, and delivers executive programs for senior civil servants while advising on urban policy and standards. Shri Surendranath is Director General of the Indian Institute of Public Administration, where he has modernized pedagogy, scaled programs, and enabled live streamed lectures to reach officials in remote locations. Under his leadership, IIPA has diversified offerings, including digital governance and climate adaptation, converted trainings into case studies and manuals, and strengthened regional branches to deepen institutional learnings for civil servants. Dr. Jairaj Phatak is Director General of the AIILSG, a pan-India institution delivering diplomas and short courses for elected representatives and municipal officers. He has expanded partnerships and specialized trainings in climate finance, sanitation, and GIS, while tailoring programs to strengthen administrative and technical capabilities across municipal cadres. Shri Sharma Prasad Roy serves as Joint Secretary at the Capacity Building Commission, Government of India, under the Department of Personnel and Training. He leads initiatives to strengthen institutional capacity and enhance civil service effectiveness across the country. Srimati Nancy Sahai is Director, Urban Administration Department, Government of Jharkhand, overseeing municipal administration and capacity building across the state's urban bodies. She organizes commissioner-level workshops on municipal finance and smart city tools and works with the Capacity Building Commission to develop annual training plans for state urban cadres. Dr. Sunita Purushottam is Global Chairperson of the Global Buildings Performance Network, leading its agenda on sustainable buildings and policy. She embeds capacity building into curricula, workshops and policy trainings, and has recently delivered multi-session programs, including in Indonesia, equipping government officials and professionals with skills in sustainable finance, codes, and decarbonization strategies. Shri Rakesh Verma is Chief Operating Officer, IGOT Karmayogi, with over 24 years' experience in GovTech and digital public infrastructure. He leads the strategy, platform roadmap, AI integration, and nationwide adoption of IGOT Karmayogi, advancing competency-based capacity building across ministries, states, and union territories. Joining us through a recorded message is Ms. Kazuko Ishigaki, Regional Director, Asia and the Pacific UN Habitat, where she leads capacity building across the region to advance inclusive and resilient urban planning. Joining us through VC is Mr. Hendra Adikapila, who is Capacity Development and Learning Coordinator at UCLG ASPAC. This session, again, will be moderated by Dr. Samir Sharma, former Chief Secretary, Government of Andhra Pradesh. The chair for this session will be Shri Gopal Prasad, Economic Advisor, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Gopal, for chairing the session. And now I will start Dr. Sunita. I think she has a flight to catch. Now, Sunita, you know, sustainability and climate responsive urban management practices. Tell us what are the capacity constraints faced by the local bodies and how to go about it. You heard a lot.
Yes,
so you know
in the earlier session, yes.
How is looking at. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll share a little bit about what we are planning to do and what could be the potential challenges. And this is regarding the code. Many of you might have heard about the Energy Conservation and Sustainable Building Code. And this is going to come up in a big way. Currently, the code was released.
Again, in consultation with Chairman, request if you can tell us solutions.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
please.
absolutely.
Because challenges already.
Yeah.
given-
I wouldn't
Yeah, please.
talk about the challenges. Yes, definitely. I would come up with share some innovative ideas. I have a private sector background and I've come into this role very recently, and hence it equips me with I've seen challenges enough, but what all innovative solutions could be brought in. The plan is to do capacity building, get the code in what it means is the Ministry of Power, Bureau of Energy Efficiency, has come up with the code ECSBC 2024 for commercial and residential buildings. What it means is local urban bodies will have to ensure that they understand what it means to deploy this code. There currently, as we have heard about the challenges, there is manpower constraint. The Bureau of Energy Efficiency was actually deploying 3 member cells in each states, and they have also reduced their manpower. So one of the ways that we look at it as a as an organization which is donor funded, is to add on manpower to ensure that these SDCs, the state designated authorities, continue to operate. In terms of capacity building, there is a master training program that would be required, just as in the case of the earlier code. And just as the earlier ECBC code, there is a master training program. There is a third-party auditors that will be institutionalized. So it's not just about the local urban body, but train a set of third-party auditors who will actually help give their audit reports to the government authorities, the urban local bodies, so that it is certified as a ECBC building. So one of the solutions is to ensure that these third-party auditors develop the lens that needs to be communicated, and only then the tick mark of a ECSBC building will be given. The first step, however, is a digital platform where the data starts coming in regarding the buildings, right? And the first piece of training is actually not local urban bodies, but all the architects who are designing buildings. So the stakeholders here are builders, people who are developing multifamily homes, and so on, and the architectural firms. There is a private sector program called the Solar Decathlon India, which is about young students. And they are trying to solve a problem where through hands-on learning and mentorship. So there is a private sector and student mentorship platform that has been created. It's called the Solar Decathlon, to train how we can get to net zero. So it's like changing a light bulb. We are saying that we have to get to net zero, but nobody knows how to get to net zero. So it is a multifaceted program. It is multidisciplinary teams come into the picture and then try to solve the problem how to get to net zero. So ECSBC or India getting to net zero, especially on the built environment, because 36% of the emissions are associated with the built environment globally. In India, it is 24%, and it's increasing. And like we heard earlier also, that a lot of energy consumption is because of the built environment. So the 2 things that we can learn from Solar Decathlon India is how to train the young and make them collaborate, and similarly work in a collaborative fashion, give hands-on training so that they can actually deploy projects, that this is what a ECBC building could look like, or a sustainable building could look like. For ULB, there are simple ways or simple guidelines that can be devised, and we are working on simple guidelines that they also can develop trained eyes. What is a good building, bad building? It can be also gamified, which is in my head, a good building, bad building, a good, a shop facade, whether it is heat resilient, and all of that. So many of these interesting, simplification of complicated concept. The code is very complicated. We need to simplify it, make it practical, learnable, and collaborative. All departments who are giving the planning permission, the urban planning, the building Bankam department, all of them have to be trained together. So these are some innovative ideas. Could be around like what you've been suggesting, around small digital modules that could be brought about.
Thank
for
you.
training.
Very, very interesting stuff. Catch them young, train them young.
Yeah.
Then ULBs, architects, net zero. So, you could think of, I don't know whether they have this participation annual on the platform of the NIUA.
Yeah, so that
None.
Yeah,
You could
so
think of that.
yeah, so one of the other things that Bureau of Energy Efficiency, Ministry of Power has been trying to do it alone. This time, in the sense that all the capacity training and SDAs, so they have control over the state designated authorities. But if Ministry of Housing together, which has to actually operationalize the code together, we can actually create the digital modules with the platforms that Ministry of Housing is developing. It would become much more integrated than sitting standalone like one program here, one program
Sunita,
there.
I'll tell you a very interesting thing, Gopal. This in Las Vegas, if you go, it's only glass and steel. You know, now they have a mandate that in 2 years they have to dismantle all the glass and steel and make it eco-friendly buildings. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So we could leapfrog that stage, and instead of going for glass and steel, we could go to the next stage.
Thank you. And that's what I meant by good building, bad building. So in Indian climate, in what climatic zones you are able to develop it and how you're able to develop it. And every person, actually common man, should be able to say whether a building that we are making is a good building, bad building. And we have to demystify these things and simplify it and take it down to that level. While there will be technical people, so the levels of training will be different, and gamification, I think, is required
Thank
for
you.
this.
Are there any questions from the audience? And otherwise, audience gets left to be. Anything on this? Is it fresh in your memory? By the time 6-7 people finish, anybody, anything? Yes. Please, Nanda. You can introduce yourself and do it.
Hi, I'm Nanda. I'm from NIUA, and I think I have a question which is related to previous panel and also connecting to the current one, sir. I think you highlighted a couple of facts, which is leveraging the academic institutions that India has and taking the analogy of the e-commerce platforms. I think the way warehouses have come to the dark stores in the neighborhoods, I think how can the Center of Excellences and institutions like these can leverage the academic institutions in India to deliver the capacity program on the ground, just in time, like in a 10-minute delivery kind of a model, instead of looking at in a structured delivery. So that is something that I wanted to check in. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody? How does it intersect with the lead LED buildings?
Yeah, so
LED individual building?
Yeah, so the ECBC becomes the base for, it's a base criteria. So there is ECBC, super ECBC, there is a level to that. This becomes the base for any certification. It becomes a base for environmental clearance. So there is another ministry which is involved here, which is the Ministry of Environment.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sunita. Now, we will have, I think, the video session from Ms. Kazuko Ishigaki. Yes, please.
Mr. Gopal Prasad, Economic Advisor, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, Session Moderator, my esteemed co-panelists, Mr. G. Mathivatanam, Director General, State Administrative Training Institute, Odisha, Mr. Sunita Purushottam, Chairperson, Global Buildings Performance Network, Dr. Sudhir Krishna, former Secretary, Ministry of Urban Development, Dr. Samia Sharma, former Chief Secretary, Government of Andhra Pradesh, distinguished panelists, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, Namaste, and warm greetings from UN Habitat Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific. It's a distinct honor to share this video message with such a distinguished audience, gathered to discuss one of the most vital enablers of urban transformation, capacity building. I extend my sincere appreciation to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and the National Institute of Urban Affairs for convening this National Urban Conclave under the theme Sustainable Urban Development and Governance. This theme couldn't be more timely or relevant. Across the globe, and especially in India, cities are emerging as epicenters of growth, innovation, and resilience. Yet, they also face immense challenges: rapid urbanization, environmental degradation, climate vulnerability, fiscal constraints, and the digital divide. How cities respond to these global challenges will shape whether our shared future is equitable, sustainable, and resilient. And at the heart of this response lies capacity, the ability of institutions and individuals to drive meaningful change. India's vision of Viksit Bharat 2047 is bold and inspiring, a vision of a prosperous, inclusive, and climate resilient nation. National and certainly local governments must play a defining role in this journey. Urban transformation is not just about infrastructure or investment. It's about how effectively city institutions plan, learn, and deliver, ensuring that no one and no place is left behind. Globally, UN Habitat serves as a custodian agency for the new urban agenda and Sustainable Development Goal 11, advocating for sustainable cities and human settlements. We have long championed the principle that strong, capable institutions, national and local, alongside engaged communities, are the foundations for sustainable development. Through dedicated tools and methodologies, UN Habitat works across all levels of government to monitor urban conditions that promote spatial equity and inclusion. Our data platform, such as the Global Urban Observatory and the City Prosperity Initiative, support evidence-based decision-making. We also provide policy, planning, and financing tools that incorporate the people's process. In other words, ensuring meaningful community participation and empowerment. India today boasts one of the world's most extensive ecosystems for urban capacity development through institutions, training centers, and partnership with think tanks like NIUA and state urban development agencies. Yet, challenges persist. Many urban local bodies still lack skilled personnel in urban planning, municipal finance, and digital management. Smaller towns in particular struggle to attract and retain talent and mobilize resources. Bridging these gaps require a multi-level, multi-sectoral approach anchored in national vision, supported by states, and driven by local innovation, partnerships, and data-informed decisions. UN Habitat's global experience, strengthened by its convening power and international partnerships, shows that capacity building is not just a peripheral activity, it's a core architecture of effective urban governance. In India, several collaborative initiatives are underway, so let me highlight a few. Urban Rasta, developed by UN Habitat in close partnership with the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, equips city planners and leaders with practical skills to develop climate action plans, sustainable master plans, and lead green projects. The Young Game Changers initiative in Jani, Odisha, empowers youth through digital skills training and promotes inclusive public spaces, fostering active youth participants in urban governance and transformation. The ANCU initiative, launched this year in Odisha, is another collaborative effort where UN Habitat is a co-signatory. It focuses on capacity building, knowledge sharing, and research to scale inclusive and climate-resilient urban solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude by reaffirming UN Habitat's commitment to supporting strong partnership and the roadmap that will emerge from this conclave. Together, we can better equip national governments, city officials, and communities to make informed, innovative, and climate-conscious decisions, contributing to the creation of inclusive, resilient, and future-ready cities in line with Viksit Bharat 2047. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kazuko. Such a short and so it's a powerful message. Thank you very much. Now we'll hear Mr. Hendra Adi Susila, please.
Yes, good evening, and really honored to be able to speak in front of you. And I will speak very briefly about the UCLG ASPAC experience in capacity building and learning activities in the promotion of the city to city partnerships for more sustainable and resilient cities in Asia Pacific. So if I may, that I share with you my presentations. Okay. So yeah, I will start my presentation with the introduction of the UCLG ASPAC as the organizations. So our long history of the organization started in 1913, where IULA, or International Union of Local Authorities, is established in Belgium, and then we are progressing to be established in Asia Pacific in 1989, where Jakarta is willing to host the organization in Jakarta. So UCIG ASPAC Secretariat is now hosted by Jakarta government, started in 1989 until now, where in 2004 the IULA was merged with the UTO, or United Towns Organization and Metropolis, and they agreed to form the new organization called UCLG. And for the Asia Pacific region, um, Jakarta government is always willing to still willing to host the organization today. So we are based in Jakarta in the Jakarta government city hall. So today we are connected with around 10,000 cities in the region, and globally we are connected with around 200,000 cities, local governments um, in the world. So our work is now focused on the city resilience and also city-to-city partnerships. So our work, our project is now covering urban act, and now we are implementing the APLG. We are as coordinator of Asia Pacific Local Governments Coordinating Body, and we also host the ASEAN Governors and Mayors Forum, which is the annual conference that we also taking part of the capacity building programs during the forum or conference. And we also now coordinating the project called the Urban Mekong Corridor Initiatives, where it's also working with local governments in the Mekong sub-regions. And we're also working with local governments in Bangladesh and Nepal for municipalities network advocacy on sanitation in South Asia. So South Asia, including India, is not new for us because we also have local government members in India, and also we also in partnership with All India Institute of Self-Government, a lot of local self-governments that we also doing the training with them. So UCI JASPAC has 9 standing committee. There are also thematic topics such as cultures, tourism, and humanitarian development and peace, Belt and Road, maritime, logistic committee, and women leadership. And we also have the standing committee for regions such as Southeast Asia. And so for building a stronger, adaptive, and connected cities through 4 strategic pillars. So we are localizing the global goals. We're also facilitating the VLRs and implementing the urban resilience projects such as the Urban Act, and also we are focused on climate adaptation, DRR, and waste management. And also we facilitating the city-to-city learning, which we have been facilitating 30 plus partnerships in 2020. We also doing the capacity building. We have been training almost 5,000 officials in the region. We're also doing the advocacy and voice of voicing the local governments in ASEAN and also the Asia Pacific local governments. And lastly, we promoting the peer learning platforms. We are in partnerships with several training centers doing the regional training and learning, including the VSR, VLR networks. So we promoting the city partnerships, and we hope that more Indian cities or local governments are interested in doing the city partnerships with other local governments in Asia Pacific. So currently, for example, we have been facilitating Surabaya and Kita Kyushu, Jakarta and Seoul, Bogor and Nagasaki, Makassar and Yokohama for several focused and thematic areas. So in conclusions, I would say that the power of partnership is when the city learn together, they grow stronger. So resilience grow from partnerships, and the inclusion grows from trust. So together, Asia Pacific cities are growing. That collaboration is the fastest path to sustainability. So thank you so much for your attention. I'll return the floor to the moderator.
Thank you. Now I'll request Dr. Sudhir Krishna. He was Secretary UD when the lot of capacity building was going on. I mean, the CCVP, CBUD and all that. So, I asked him, but you can always talk much more. What are the institutional reforms needed to ensure that administrative and technical strength happens at the city level, please?
Thanks. Thanks, Amir. I think the time is short. I have much to say, but I'll try to be brief. Yeah, 5 minutes is my target. Okay. A small presentation which will help me to keep the time, and I'm going to keep a timer also of 5 minutes for myself. Okay. There are 5 dimensions of the capacity challenge I have identified based on what I have been observing all these years, even now. And it's emotional challenges and size optimality challenge and competing parastatals and managerial capacities. And let us see how all this can be resolved. I am proposing resolution also, not difficult. Next, please. Thanks. So the emotional challenge, we are pushing too much expectations from the municipalities, but whether they are emotionally in that state of mind to take up the challenges. So irregular elections, we don't have elections and people feel lost that who to approach, whether mayor, councillor or commissioner, administrator. There is a confusion what is meant by municipality. And even the leadership role, mayor or president of the municipality, not much empowered also. And in fact, in the warrant of precedence, if you see for ceremonies, who are the senior most and so on, the mayor comes way down below the deputy Lokayukta also. He comes below that also. He is the city father, but where he stands. And even commissioner is not senior enough and his tenure is very short. And state finance commission, which are supposed to be, backbone of financial strength and for the municipal and panchayat bodies, they are not constituted. Their reports are ignored. In fact, ministry has put conditions. 15th Finance Commission recommended, and the ministry issued orders that until you constitute the Finance Commission and implement their reports by 31st March 25, further grants shall not be released. But I think they are not bothered. There is some issue. We have to resolve that. So the suggestions are there that upgrade. This gives a feeling where you position the municipalities, upgrade them in the warrant of precedence and create forums. Now currently there is a Indian Road Congress going on, and I meet the engineers. They are so excited and proud of being road engineers. So like that, it should be a forum of mayors. There is a forum, but it has to be activated. Forum of municipal engineers, forum of urban planners, and so on and so forth. Thanks. Next. So I think size optimality is another thing. We are confused as what is the right size of municipality and accordingly what is staffing. Now Delhi experimented by trifurcating the municipal corporation and again making a single corporation. They are not sure. So at least we should study. Bangalore has recently divided the corporation into five corporations, just last month only. So we should examine, I propose, I don't know whether NIUA can sponsor a study as to find out what is this optimal size of a municipality and what is the staffing required for that. And you see, one more thing, you see, HR framework, yes, we can try experiment. Next, please. The parastatals are competing out of the, we have mentioned constitution, the 12th schedule, 18 items listed, only 5.5 items are given actually to the municipal bodies. Rest are all through the parastatals. These are the 5 items, hardly worthwhile, cattle ponds and so on, not really much to talk about, registration of births and deaths and so on. And with all that, no city has got a data about how many people are living in the city, though the municipalities are supposed to register the births and deaths. So there are challenges, Parastatal suggestion is that, can we bring parastatals under the control of the municipalities? We have got positive experience from Gujarat. In Gujarat, the municipal corporation floats SPV. In today also, there are 14 major SPVs, transport and so on. They are under the corp. That is one positive example. And negative example is the smart city SPVs. We created SPVs outside the municipal corporation, and the experience is before us. So let us learn from positive and negative and find the ways. Thank you. Next. Then last is the managerial challenge. And 2 slides are there. That there is an ambivalence in cadre. Whether the municipality should have its own cadre. Wherever their own cadre, there are deficiencies also in the cadre. The strength of the cadre is not very, the capabilities are not very strong. So whether we can have states strong own cadre with partial integration, like in the All India services, there is a migration from the state services. Like that, can we have something like that? Because there is a confusion and capability challenge. Staff, too many vacancies are there. No, neither the staff is augmented. I see when I meet the municipal officers, the mission programs are coming up like anything. Funds are coming with unprecedented flow of funds, and but there are no staff to manage that. Can we have district level public service commissions where the local staff can be recruited in a systematic manner? It's a big scandal at times, and a challenge also to have proper staffing. Can we have training institutions? Where very few states have SIUDs, or State Institute of Urban and Regional Planning. Very few states. Where they are adjunct to the ATI. And sometimes I can say Namka Vaste SIUD, so to say. Can we have proper SIUD? Can the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs support that? SIRDs were supported by the Ministry of Rural Development. Then only SIRDs came up to some stature. Can we not have a program of funding? It won't cost much, but benefits will be far too large. But last slide, please. Thank you. The procurement challenges. Municipalities face 3 big challenge in procurement. And is scandalous also at times because their manuals are not updated. Staff is not trained in handling those things. I mean, because I interact with them at different planes, sometime in arbitration, sometime in now, and sometime as a trainer and so on. So I find that the procurement manuals need to be updated, and their training has to be conducted, and then the standards are not there. The standards, they are lost, they are not able to handle very big manuals and so on. Their own manuals, why can't the Ministry of Urban Development, Housing and Urban Affairs introduce the model building bylaws? Like that, why can't we produce many model procurement manual for municipalities and so on? It will help them, and align them with the local conditions and so on. Last, I would say that, last point, sir, previous one, in the previous slide, the last point is the database. Own database is not there. How much property they own? Of course, ministry has made many efforts. Cities program is there. Or city infrastructure. Any DPR you want to prepare, you do not know what are the utilities submerged in the road, under the road. And the total confusion, in digging up the road and so on. So database using the BSLD framework is there from Ministry of Statistics. Cities program is there. All these have to be harnessed to have a GIS-based mapping of resources. I am sure municipalities have the capacity. Resources are there. Capacity have to be augmented, but resources are abound. Only thing is we have to augment the resources, capacities, and harness the resources. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for bringing out in such a complete way the structural and governance level constraints and also possible solutions. Thank you, sir. If there are any questions, we'll take it because, in the end, you tend to forget what he has said. And then we may also run out of time. Any questions on this? Yes. Yes, please.
So one is that NIUA would be happy to look into the split of the Bangalore Municipal BBMP, but I think we should do it after some time, just to understand what has been its impact. And on the asset registration, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has already taken an initiative for asset registration of urban local bodies. So this is underway. I just thought I should bring to the table. Thank you.
Please, mic is coming.
They have not only divided 5 corporations, but water supply is already handled by Bangalore-based agency. Solid waste also is handled by another agency under the municipal corporation, which will now be under the Greater Bangalore Corporation. So water supply, solid waste is separate, and 5 corporations will handle other things.
Thank you. Even more fragmentation, huh? This is what you're saying. Okay.
Hello.
Anybody else?
Yes. Sir, you have raised the points very rightly. Actually, I just wanted to understand because we have reform at the central level and state level also. Intercity infrastructure we have worked. But actually, urban local bodies are going to be main economic driver for this country if we are aspiring to become a developed country by 2047. Sir, just wanted to understand, this important segment of governance has been left to inexperienced leadership. And secondly, rightly you mentioned, commissioners, they just after passing out, they go there, such an important assignment. And they also stay there for by the time they learn, they are transferred out. So they go and take up the higher responsibility. So that is the one problem. So when we are talking about urban local bodies capacity building, what is our vision? If we are going to be future ready and citizen-centric kind of urban local bodies, how this issue, this capacity building at this level will be addressed? That is the main problem. Sir, just wanted to understand.
Good suggestion. I think that you have made a good suggestion. Only thing is, I mean, I think that in this country, ministry has got a lot of role to nudge the state. Let us not let the ministry not try to implement everything. Nudging is very important. Nudging the state, getting things done rather than doing things by the government of India. So thing is that maybe state chief ministers have to be called, they have to be more asked that why can't you post more senior officers as municipal commissioners? Why can't? It is possible. It is not impossible. They are not losing anything. It should be possible.
Not only that, sir. There is another problem. We have never identified, key metrics. Sir, I had an opportunity to manage Jamshedpur city because I was chief town services for Jamshedpur and also handle multiple international cities also in Lagos, Singapore also. Mostly when you look at the managing the urban cities, you need to set first of all vision, right kind of leadership to drive that vision, and thereafter you have to identify key metrics. What are the key points you want to achieve? And whether those things are citizen-centric or not, and process-driven or not. So all these things, unless we discuss holistically, we cannot address it.
I just want to conclude because other speakers are there and time is short. I just want to say one thing, that, as I said, that emotional strength is most important. In public working, it is the emotional strength, not the financial strength. Not many things. First and foremost is the emotional strength. Now what happens is, Dr. Kundu and I, we were together in the Delhi State Finance Commission, she will recall. At that time, there were 3 municipal corporations. And we had meeting with and the 3 ladies were there. Each municipal has a female president or mayor. And what a fine vision they had. Totally, you cannot believe until you talk to a mayor. And those who have not talked to mayor, they will have some impression. Those who speak to a mayor in a professional manner, not about politics, just talk about professional work, then you know what is the depth, what are the emotions involved. But at the heart, they knew they were only 1 year term. So the thing is that how you nurture the system, how you put, in which framework you put a person. We say collector in the country is very strong because the emotional framework in which the collector is positioned. That is how he is strong. Otherwise, he also has 2 limbs and, has all 2 eyes and so on. But it is the emotional. So if we give respect to the mayor, if we elevate the position, they are far more, they will quickly change because they are working with the people. They have come through elections, they have to answer the people, they meet with the people on a daily basis. It's a wonderful opportunity, but we are constraining everywhere, chaining everywhere, and they are not moving. So I think there is an opportunity. It is an opportunity is there, and I'm sure other panelists will also throw light. I don't want to take away the time of others. Please.
Thank you. So I'll just add, sir. So when N.T. Ramarao was there, he made the term of mayors 5 years and directly elected. And we got one of the most outstanding mayors. Vizag, we got a lawyer whose son was a High Court judge, and he became the Bar Council of India president later on. Then they changed it to 1 year. And then I was Municipal Commissioner Hyderabad. I could see the difference. As he rightly says, 1 year, 3 year direct election. Thank you. Now, sir, I'll request Mr. S.N. Tripathi, tell us, you have so much experience. You're the only person who's even having experience today, ongoing experience, work in progress for you always, SN. So what are behavioral and institutional constraints, and particularly elected representatives? We forget to train them also. Those everybody has talked about architect, etc. Plus anything else you want to tell. Please.
From One in CUS started since 1963. Our job was to mainstream urban agenda among non-urban people. Non-urban, I am very specifically saying, because very few people in urban, you understand what is urban, but other than non-urban, they don't understand. So IAPA provided that facility to the non-urban government servant who come to the IAPA for their training. Two, we created literature on urban success story on a UGC care listed Nagar Lok publication, where student, academic, and other world people are encouraged to write. Our job was to create India-specific, India-centric literature also, and these two jobs has been done by CUS IIPA. On top of it, we have been training people both at IIPA and also at the pit head, what we call it, at the municipal level, because it is easier to get them. One thing very clear, municipalities doesn't want to pay for training, and they would not like to buy a training capsule from anywhere, even if it is on IGOT. So let's understand that they don't value training as such. When you talk to the mayor, we trained all the municipal mayors of Jammu and Kashmir, and I will share one thing. उनका कहना था सर हमारी ट्रेनिंग हमारे कलेक्टर और कमिश्नर के साथ करो. Why the hell they don't cooperate with us? We would like to train them in front of us. This is a practical suggestion so that at least the team building should happen. What Sudhir Krishna sir was selling, the emotional content. Collector, everybody invested. They have eyes and ears of the chief minister. They deliver. Mayors don't have eyes and ears even of the state government, much less of the central government. And central government, the message I am getting that you want to be treated as a technical ministry, then who will handhold the municipal governance and municipal administration? I don't think this is the best strategy for MOH, Mohua, but then you are the best judge of your institution. I can't pass any value judgment on that. Second thing and final thing regarding the training, sir, somebody has to revisit 74th Amendment as far as urban is concerned. Tenure, regular election, fixed tenure of the mayor, not making them whimsical chairs so that they will understand nothing, so that you can give a dog a bad name and kill it. These are institutionally mandated things where mayor can be ignored sufficiently. We will have some committed municipal commissioners like Samir Sharma and others who will make a change, but you need to build up a team to deliver. It is team that delivers at district level and state level, not the policies alone, sir. That has been our understanding as far as urban governance is concerned. One more point that I thought I would like to say, this current CBC avatar and the new look at the training program, we think that digitally we can learn everything. I don't think you will hire a driver who has learned driving digitally. Some of you might be very confident, but then at least I would not like. But I would like to hire a driver who has learned digitally also, but he has had a valid certificate of a competent institution. I don't want to distinguish between A and B and C. Maybe there are many more. Center of excellence are there. They are now adding more wisdom to it. But the wisdom that we are co-creating should be available to all the institutions on a IGOT or any such nationally recognized platform. They should not again go back to the golden cage or institutional cage that catch me if you can. If COE is creating a content, that should be made available to everybody, if not in the multi-language, at least in the same language to all of us, so that we need not co-create the same thing. If some COS has done it and COE has done it. And finally, sir, I would certainly add that we should distinguish whose capacity we want to develop. Municipal commissioner elected or the selected ones. In any case, elected, the posts are 100% filled up with women and many other type of category of people coming. And for their training, emotional investment, giving them a small knowledge of how to conduct meeting, how to record proceeding, how to rein or how to control the bureaucracy, those things are good enough. But for bureaucracy, you can't train because they are not there to be available. In Jammu Kashmir, sir, every municipality has one engineer. Now one engineer has 3 municipalities. So he is answerable to none. I don't think we can imagine a collector who will be in charge of 2 districts. We have never had it in any of the system in India, sir. And you are saying IAS officers not being available. Today, out of 375 JS posts, only 50 IAS officers are available at JS level, even in the government of India. In 95 onwards, we recruited only 50, 60 at IS level and many more. All those vacancies are now visible in the field as well as at the center level. So these vacancies are going to happen. The solution that we are thinking that we will hire outsourced employees. So you can hire outsourced employee for delivering a service, but operation and maintenance with no skin in the game, they will fly by the night along with the wisdom when their tenure is over. We have seen the no loyalty in IT companies, but our government institution require loyalty and continuity both. Only then investment on them will be fruitful. Otherwise, we'll keep on training, we keep on changing. In elected, we can bear with it, but selected, we must have some tenure. And in fact, you don't give them fund and functions, but at least first thing is we should give them functionaries. With functionaries, they will find out some way to deliver. But if you don't have anyone, then we can certainly blame the urban for inefficiency. And last thing, sir, since I have some 30 seconds extra because of my batchmate is presiding, so I can take some advantage. In 47, what will be the role of urban local bodies? Should we still have 74th Amendment by 47? My answer would be that municipality should be only a supervising body. Let all the services be delivered by parastatal bodies so that efficiency, scale benefit, planning benefit, and all those things can come. If I am a mayor, I would like all the school to be managed by DPS society so that all children become civil servants. And I would not like my municipality to run my school when they can't even be selected by the Swachhata Abhiyan. So if you want quality, we should encourage quality institution at urban level. It cannot be a debate between who manages. The debate is whether citizen is satisfied. And citizen can be satisfied by better services. Sir, one example I would certainly give. DPI was mentioned by the secretary. Digital public infrastructure and all those things are how we deliver development. We have seen the example of banks. People wanted banking, they never wanted bank. Whether State Bank is there or any XYZ bank is there, doesn't matter, as long as my account and my UPI functions. Same thing should come in the urban PM Gati Shakti type of initiative, that you find out who will deliver the services and then ask them to deliver it. Let the cost be a little different. People are prepared to pay the cost instead of waiting for a rickety municipality to become capable and all the functionaries being transferred to a non-existent municipality and hoping for them to deliver today or even tomorrow. Last 60 years we have seen they can't. Next 22 years is too short a time to experiment with this arrangement. Maybe it looks revolutionary, maybe it looks little out of box, but these are the areas where you can think and suggest out of box also. Thank you very much for giving me a chance.
Thank you, Mr. Tripathi. It's really out of box. And you know what he is saying actually, in Hyderabad, the entire road network was given to SPV, as you're saying. So why don't we think of this, as he says, give it to parastatals and SPVs, as Krishna also said. They're making SPVs with the local body to deliver these things and leave the balance to the local body.
Sir, I agree with the most of point you said, sir. As a citizen, I have a perspective that whenever we think about the urban local bodies, we always have a perception of service provider, not the city manager, right? So, like sir said, we have a lot of successful model where parastatal agencies and SPVs come, and they basically pressure off ULBs for the different service delivery functions like Watcos and Swakshandras of the world. Then only, sir, the ULB will have, like you said, 74th Amendment have 18 functions, out of which at least 6 to 7 functions are there where ULBs are not even touching those functions, like social or economic development of the city. If these service providers options can be pressure off from the ULBs, they can more think about the social and economic development, and then multiple urban centers who have a distributed avenues of migrations and other things can contribute to basically achieve the vision of 2047.
And very small comment, the mayor economy of China, what we aspire to be, I don't think that is going to happen so soon as far as my imagination goes, sir. Because the mayors in China, they are party representatives one person government. They have all the power, beginning from president to the level of chief minister, and they become center of attraction for attracting investment, which generates job and therefore develop the economy. Here we are only wanting them to be another service provider. They will continue to be poor because private sector will provide better, more efficient, maybe slightly costly service. Why should municipality run a hospital when we have a AIMS in Delhi? But then हम तो हो हमारा झंडा ऊंचा रहना चाहिए. I don't think that झंडे की लड़ाई है, ये डंडे की लड़ाई नहीं है, citizen की लड़ाई है. Citizen should get all the services, whosoever delivers it. And
Absolutely.
Government should be one option, not the option.
I'll just add to that. Why do so many of us live in RWAs? Why do so many live in RWAs and gated communities? For this only. Better services, and you're paying so much more. So this is what he was trying to say. Yes, please. I mean, this is a very, it's a outer box. So think about, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Sir has rightly said that ULBs in coming years should be more and more managerial. In fact, the specialized services should be done by SPVs under them. That is right. But sir, my thinking is that the whole issue, the central issue is to make ULBs small or big or middle more professional. It has two aspects. One is the technical aspect and the managerial aspect. So don't you think that our engineers, they should also learn some managerial things, and the managers and administrative officers should also learn the basics of the technical things so that can manage the SPVs more efficiently?
If you are forcing me to my IAPA Professor Chair, then I would certainly respond. Technical skill everybody should know, be it municipal, be it elected or selected, how to do the job. A driver must know how to take right turn and click the right switch also. Otherwise he can't say that I know only how to drive straight. So technical skill for all across, not only in, let's say, municipal engineer knowing only the urban local thing, he should also know how to run the accounts also. Because ultimately at times he is also used there. There is no question of specialization in a small organization. We need multi-purpose worker. So technical skill everybody, human skill some, how to communicate with superior and juniors, but some of them should be trained to have conceptual skill. Big picture of state, big picture of municipality, how we will attract migrant, how we'll have the rental colonies, how we'll have grant, the trunk infrastructure and all those things. Because everybody can't be thinking the same thing. You can't expect linemen and chairmen to be equally trained. And therefore there will be distinguished training. So technical skill training, 70% people, maybe human skill, another 30% extra, but conceptual training should be on 10 part, 12%. The module that we use in IIP is, sir, what we call it think, solve, communicate, collaborate and lead. Think differently because my chasma cannot take care of your eyes. Howsoever best practice I give, it will not work on you. You have to look at through your eyes your own problems. So we should give you capacity to think differently. We should also give you capacity to solve the problem. The way I solve my problem may not be relevant for you, but I must encourage you that I did fail for following reason. You can succeed with following reason being given in the training. Similarly, communicate. Many people don't know how to communicate, how to ask the right question, and even how to answer the right question. So communication skill is as important as think, solve and communicate. But most important training is collaborate. Ekla Chalore is good for Rabindra Sangeet, not in urban management. You have to work together. So collaboration by training, by design. Otherwise, the planner will say, "Hum to planning karte rahe, who will implement it?" It is not a Kagaji plan, otherwise Kagaji Ghoda. So think, solve, communicate, collaborate. Only then you can lead, sir. Otherwise you will be at best a good worker, not even a good manager. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now, we are with Jairaj, who knows more about training than Jairaj, legend. And Jairaj, traditional municipal training तो कब से कर रहे हैं हम लोग, है ना? हाँ, थोड़ा ये बिजनेस यूजुअल से हट के कुछ ट्रांसफॉर्मेटिव, कुछ ये कॉम्पिटेंसी बेस्ड
Well, my institute was set up by municipalities before Government of India was set up as an independent authority. So the municipalities have decided which are the most important functions for them and what should be the training courses rather than they being discussed in conferences in Delhi. So the most important course of my institute is sanitary inspectors program, because there are far more sanitation staff than either town planners or officers or others. So improving the quality of thousands of sanitation staff is probably, it contributes to municipal efficiency far more than concentrating on other staff. So this training, which is of course one of the oldest, is undergoing change with online, WhatsApp, the new technology being introduced in the training. SI course is getting changed. The second most important course from the municipal point of view is what we call local self-government diploma, and which should be really called now diploma in municipal administration. Because again, next to sanitation staff, the largest number of employees in any municipality are the clerical, superintendent and other staff. That course is also revised every 10 years or so. Subjects are changing, new concepts which are coming. So these are the two most important courses, with 7,000 SI trainees in 50 centers in India and 2,000 LSGD trainings in about 25 to 30 centers in India. Here I must say that the 3 or 4 cities which have been consistently finding as the cleanest cities in India, Indore, Surat, Navi Mumbai, all have a regional training center of All India Institute of Local Self-Government. I don't want to say that we deserve the training for what they are doing, but they have honored us by starting our training courses in often an accommodation provided by municipality, where the municipal staff gets trained for the SI course or for municipal clerical course. Now the third most important course for my institute, because in Western India, the 6 states from Maharashtra to Punjab, fire brigade is a subject entrusted to municipalities. So fireman course has about 800 to 1000 students every year. This is again a 6 months course. Water supply and sewerage, my institute could not really start a new course because water supply and sewerage is a municipal subject, fully municipal subject only in 3 states. That is Maharashtra, Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. Well, these are the courses which institute itself started because it was set up by municipalities, and municipalities know where their largest number of employees work. Improving efficiency of the largest number of employees was found more important than training of the top management. Now the Government of India gave us money through the RCUS, Regional Center of Urban and Environmental Studies. Here the priorities are often decided by the central missions like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Amrut, but we give choice to the municipality what training do they want. Recently we had an RCUS training program in Nashik, because Nashik is going to have the next Kumbh Mela, Ardha Kumbh. So experts had come from Allahabad, which recently, that is Prayagraj, which recently conducted a very successful Kumbh Mela, and they gave tips to the Nashik officers what are the mistakes they may commit and mistakes they should avoid. Now, about Mr. Sudhir Krishna's comment about setting up of a like SIRD and SIUD, Maharashtra was one of the states which created an SIUD in Yashoda and asked money from Government of India. I now tell them that SIUD exists before SIRDs were set up. Municipalities are older than Jilla Parishads, and Ministry of Urban Development has created SIUDs, but since the municipal population was less than the rural population, the SIUDs are named RCUSs. For 4 or 5 states, there is one RCUS. We have been given Western India. So it very much exists. And I think what size of municipal corporation is ideal is like asking what size of state is ideal or what size of country is ideal. Ultimately, the citizens will decide whether they want to break Czechoslovakia into Czech Republic and Slovak Republic and still continue USSR as a very huge country. citizen and the administration there. Same thing in Mumbai, this question was raised in the assembly. I said that it will not be in the interest of the city because the water supply comes from outside. If it is divided in the 3 corporations, the eastern suburbs will say that, well, I would like to charge you more for the water supply. Entire solid waste management goes into eastern suburb. Eastern suburbs will again fight for it. So whatever city or the local people want to have, if they want to divide into 10 cities, well, let them do. Because in fact, just now I quoted when Praja Foundation I had a discussion, people keep on saying mayor in council, mayor in council. Calcutta has a mayor in council, Mumbai has a mayor, has a strong municipal commissioner. Which city is working better? It is everybody to see. So I often quote that Cowper sentence, that poet Alexander Pope quote, that for forms of government let fools contest. Whatever is the best administered is the best. Thank you.
Jaraji, as usual, at your Asobic best. And once again, thank you. Now, I'll just, 30 seconds I'll say. There's one IS officer from Andhra Pradesh who took retirement and joined Physics Wala. So he reached out to me 6 months ago. And Physics Wala has commissioned me, Jaraji, to make 30 to 45 minute sessions on techniques which work at the street level. So, there's stuff like this. When I was Municipal Commissioner Hyderabad, I found that there were a lot of women workers who were reporting sick and absenteeism. We checked up, they're all having back trouble. So, they used to have that small jhadu, jhuk ke karte the. So, we then gave them the jhadu with the stick. It took us 7 months, change management. They were not agreeing. So, this is what he is saying. So, this is the absolute zoom in level to what, the COEs were saying about zoom out completely. So this is what the zoom in, as Jaraji is saying. I wanted to say that. Thank you, Jaraji. As usual, very well put and well given. Now, I'll request Mr. S.P. Roy. Yes, please.
So I come from Capacity Building Commission, which was created in 2021. And this is looking after a subset of what our sir DG IIPA was talking about. So we train we are talking about training the employees. Employees here in this context is the urban local employees. So we realized the first thing is no one size fits all. And then in the previous session we really learned that the physical infrastructure training isn't really working in the scenario. So we started working with the urban local bodies in the 7 cities, in the 7 urban local bodies, and from there whatever we learned, we took it to 1200 urban local centers and bodies. We started talking to the individuals employees in a session and asked what they are doing, what is their role, what do they do. After that, then we started figuring out what is those functions that they need a competency on, and started matching those competencies with the courses available. I'm just talking about learning and training. That's our mandate and that's what I'm talking about. So we started mapping the courses and the trainings he required. And then we put them on the IGOT. IGOT is Rakesh baby. He was going to talk more about it. But we learned one thing, that courses of say 40, 45 minutes were really taking up. So they were meeting certain requirements which the individuals themselves felt about. They spoke about the need and we gave them. So that was meeting roles, and our motto was, it is shift from rule-based to role-based learning. So how do you make learning more specific? It was not only the online learning that we were looking at, we were also looking at the physical learning that we could do, peer learnings that could happen. And in this collaboration with agencies that we are working out came out loud. I'll give you an example. There's IFC sitting in this room, and that was referred to in the previous session also. So CBC, MOA and IFC collaborated in the urban local bodies that we had already worked in 7 cities. While they were doing, they started realizing that there are many caselets that could come out of all the experiences of talking in one room. So that experiences, if that could be captured and put on the web or on the IGOT, senior management level, before they start getting into a job, could learn from those cases. We could start off a case writing workshop. We also did that with our urban local bodies, and participants learned how do they capture the recent experiences in the field while they were posted in some places. So their learnings were captured, and then that becomes a material that is taught in the class. So this is a relevance which is of 3 years past experience, and that is what is being taught. At the same time, what we learned was, in the urban local bodies, tech is being used as citizen enablers, and it is not the internal enhancers that they are using that as. For example, I'll give you, the local bodies, the employees there are not using the desktops given to them to learn, but they're using them to serve the citizens that they're coming. So can those instruments at the same time be used to their own learning, while we also start making the mobile apps and put out the videos on the mobiles? Can some hours be dedicated to learning in the offices itself? Can we make our places centers of learning? In this context, we also spoke about that the government needs to really look at, in fact, what we have done in DOPT, Gopalji spoke about. We have mandated 6 learning hours, mandated course-wise, that has to be completed, and that will reflect in our APAs. States like Assam and other states have mandated that if you don't complete these courses, there will be no increment. So carrot and stick, can you start following that? Probably those are the learnings that we have had so far, and we as a policy making, it's a policy think tank body that CVC is. We are passing it on to MOHUA and whoever is interested in learning with us. Thank you.
Mr. Roy, I did a lot of capacity building in the US. So I'll tell you what happens. There's an entire literature on what is called the practice movement. It's called learning from practice to informed practice. And since 70s that has been formalized in the US. They do this. The problem which they face is lot of the administrators have tacit knowledge. You tell them to do a job, they will do it, but you ask them how they've done, they'll not be able to explain. So that is one thing will come up again. But if you look at the practice movement, US has been doing it for 65 years now. The entire practice movement which has come, learning from practice to informed practice, all that is there.
We have also started off a community of practice. So the employees or academics.
Not the community, I'm talking,
I'm saying
there are the elements of practice. I mean, they've done it for 50 years. Chal. Thank you. Any questions on this? Anybody? Anything? Chal. Okay, then we go to Nancy. Nancy is from the state government, the only one. Thank you, Nancy. Tell us, what do you think from the state view?
Good evening, sir, and thank you very much. So before coming to the state perspective, and I would like to speak about the very doable solutions, because we have talked a lot about the constraints and the issues and challenges which must be very common to most of the states across the country. But before that, to just let you know, sir, we have just completed the infrastructure of the Jharkhand Urban Planning and Management Institute, which is a dedicated research and training center for urban governance in the state. So, and we hope that this will turn out to be a pioneer step for the municipal administration in the state of Jharkhand. So when we talk of problems or constraints, so the main issues which we have already discussed about, and there are some solutions and some based on some feedback and observations from the very grassroots and ground level. Some of them we have implemented and some are in pipeline, sir. We talked about having stable municipal cadres. That I think is very important, because most of our ULBs, they rely on short-term contractual basis staff. The major issue is that nothing is more of is very challenging, is that leads to a loss of institutional memory because if the staff is there for a very short time, so I think having those stable municipal cadres is a very, very important angle if we talk about these solutions. Sir, especially in context of Jharkhand, we have thought of developing multilingual training modules, sir, because we have many districts where we face language problems, mostly like the modules which we get from the ministry are in English or have a lot of technical terms. So, sir, so to simplify them, we plan to, we are doing that also, and we need to have some multilingual and simpler, sir, training modules for them. Sir, then the very important aspect is having a mandatory induction training for all the municipal recruits, including all kind of posts. Sir, a very interesting observation which I had when I came to DMA. Sir, last year we did a very good job, the state government. We recruited around 600 municipal staff, sir, through the Staff Selection Commission, Jharkhand Staff Selection Commission. But interestingly, sir, we were not able to define their roles and responsibilities for nearly about 6 months. So, sir, when I joined, some of the staff from the ULBs, they came to me and then they were like, "Madam, humko karna kya hai?" And they had been there in the urban local body posted for around 6 months. So, sir, neither the municipal commissioner nor the executive officer, जहाँ भी वो सर काम कर रहे थे, उनके heads को भी ये नहीं पता था कि exactly उनसे क्या काम कराना है, especially for some specific posts. So, sir, sometimes I feel that when we take a very reformative step or a good step, the continuity goes missing. जैसे हमने सर recruit कर लिया, that was a good achievement. सर, काफ़ी लोगों ने हमने अपनी so called resource crunch को सर कम किया, but हमने उनको बताया ही नहीं सर कि उनको क्या करना है, and that telling them that took around 6 to 7 months. So we lost a lot of time there. So I think that is very important, that continuity in that process of making a change is always there. Sir, when we talk of like training, we don't have an earmarked fund in the ULB for the purpose of training. Most of the times it is allotted to the scheme, and with the closure of the scheme, that continuity in the training system like that suffers. So I think one good solution would be, sir, that if we could like earmark, suppose 1% of the ULB budget for specific training purpose. So that could be one idea, sir. Also, I think, sir, there is a need to include the PPP and municipal finance modules in these circulars, because we are not letting them know how can they leverage funds apart from their own internal resources. So the financial crunch which they face, so I think they need to be also taught as to how can they use innovative and other methods, like maybe linking with the local banks or SIDBI or HUDCO. So these kind of training and orientation should be given to them, sir. Also, sir, we could think of developing a hybrid training module, which could be like both online and offline, especially for the small ULBs which have maybe poor internet access, and maybe also we need to equip them with the basic ICT infrastructure. This is specifically in context with our state, sir, where we have issues in especially the small ULBs and Nagar Parishads and Palikas in the tribal areas and other non-accessible areas. Sir, also, I think we talked about the elected representatives, their training. So there also, I feel, sir, it's very important, especially in our state, we have a lot of public representatives from the who are females. And as sir said, one of the speakers, that they have a very good vision. I completely agree to that. And I think we need to nurture that more so that they actually know their roles and how better they can help us in the capacity development and the overall development of the urban local body. So also, I think there is a need to integrate citizen feedback into the training evaluation program, which is important, because they, all the stakeholders, right from the citizen to the public representative to the staff to the officers, everybody involved in this entire ecosystem of urban governance becomes very, very important, sir. Sir, also I have an observation and a query. In the first session, we heard a lot of training organizations and who are into capacity building. Sir, is there any provision or could we think of empaneling a few of them with the ministry? Because sometimes there is a need to train or orient some of our staff or some particular category related to urban governance, जो हम लोग उनके साथ directly sir engage कर सकते. Because recently, sir, what happened? We were in the process of developing a livelihood action plan for one of our pilot districts in the NULM, new NULM phase, which is coming up in the ministry. So we had some fund allocated for that, sir, and then, but we had to go for a tender process, which took a lot of time. Ultimately, we have engaged with NIT Calicut. We heard him in the first session also. So we've started with that. But then again, the process was, sir, very tedious because we had to go through a very long process. So I just had an observation and a query as well. If we could have some renowned and some organizations which would be empaneled with Mahua, so that state governments on need basis and on some urgent basis could directly engage them. So that would be one suggestion where we could have more training, sir, in context of the number of trainings and also in more areas where the ULB or the state DMA, the directorate, would like to like have more of exposure to our people for training in different sectors. So that would be one suggestion, sir. So that is all, sir, I want to say. Thank you.
From the ground up, thank you very much. And you've endorsed so many things. Thank you very much. And this, of course, our chairman has noted this, and
noted your point, Nancy, especially with regard to your immediate requirement of the empanelment. I would get looked into this and would let you know very soon.
Now,
yes, sir.
We'll come to Rakeshji. Tell us something about the digital platform. You know, all this stuff we have been talking about, small bite size, 7 minutes, on the go, learning by doing, learning as you go. How do you do it digitally?
Sir.
And then, as Mr. S.N. Tripathi said, you won't like a driver who's never driven. So why not? How do you bring the hybrid part into that?
Sir, 3 years back, we got a mandate to build a platform to train 3 crore civil servants in the country. Huge diversity. Talking about state government, central government, urban local bodies, panchayati raj, and so on and so forth. In terms of diversity, you know, 2% Group A, 7% Group B, and remaining are Group C. Group A, because of Labasna and a police academy, Hyderabad, and so on and so forth, they have a structured learning pathways. They go for training phase-wise. Challenge comes for the Group C people. So before forming IGOT, what we have done, we've done a 6-month massive exercise of consultation with the various stakeholders. We spoke to Korea, we spoke to UK, we spoke to Australia, asked them their model. We spoke to Flixwala, we spoke to Byju's, we spoke to Upgrade, and so on and so forth. And they have given us a few models to work on this. After doing all this, we had 2 options. Either we can take a Singapore model where they have a white label solutions, use Coursera or Udemy kind of platform, make it a white label and make up and running from a day one. Second challenge was DPI way, build from scratch, the way we have built UPI, Aadhaar, and so on and so forth. In last 3 years, so I remember January 2023, we hardly had 80 courses and 2 lakh people. Today we have 1.4 crore people on the platform, 4,000 plus courses. It's all possible because of 3 design principles: empowerment, evolving, enablement. We keep evolving based on our requirement coming from our state government, ULBs, and other stakeholders. New feature like case studies. Sir spoke about how can we invite our ex-bureaucrats, record them on a public policy, municipal governance. We're doing it also. They are very modular, very bite-sized, 1 hour courses, 2 hour course max. Okay. I think what we have learned also, I think pre-COVID, it was largely kind of a physical training was happening across government, PSUs, or the private sector also. I think we learned that e-learning behavior during the COVID time. I think the future is blended. So what is happening now, like in Labasna, Mussoorie now, before the new batch goes to Labasna, they are doing 30 hours of learning online before they go physical one. So I think we to search for those blending also. See the scale we have in ULBs, 5,000 plus ULBs, 20 lakh plus people. We can't do it by a physical way. Only way would be how to use AI. So what we've done in AI also now there's a need to build a capacity building plan for all the ULBs. We can't do it by a manual way or an old school way. Only way would be in last couple of months we have built a now AI tool also. The moment you insert few documents like ULB annual report, role allocation order also, it give you beautiful competency link learning pathway with the demands also. Okay. Then we have partner like JERAS, all the IITs, ISB, they get a demand available, gaps available also. We can make very beautiful blended option also available. So the future would be, I think I have two requests for the audience also. How we can onboard all the ULB on IGOT in a time-bound manner. I think we're working with the NULP also on this. As on today, we have around 1.5 lakh audio on board now, work in progress. Second request would be, today I think all the IITs are now partnered with IGOT now. So my request would be NIT Calicut, JERAS and other partner, if they can come together, have a structured way, how do you source the content on the IGOT now? But 2 cents on this. Thank you.
I'll just say something for you.
Sir.
2014 when I joined MAUA, it was MOUD then. So the CBUD program was there. And money was there for 3 years and it was not being spent. So we entirely reinvented. I'll tell you the basic things which happen. With numbers, measurement errors come, then the target becomes the number. And so what we did was very interesting. We would have 3 days by some 20-30 institutions training, which you could do now digitally. After that, we teach them first time, then they go back. Every month we ask them, how much of the training did you use? And you know what results we got? Not even 5%. Then we said, next 3 days, revise it. They revised it. Next time, 12%. What you are training is not useful. They are not using it. You are understanding? So that was amazing information for us, and we didn't know how to get out of it. We were training, they were coming for a change, and they liked all this because there was compulsion and force and all that, and it was free because World Bank was funding. But it was not working. You think of that.
No, absolutely, sir.
I'll just tell you. That is one. The other was, in the end, we took them to a case. And that case also, they were happy, but to the particular case, the moment you bring administrators, what we are seeing, case studies, they are so particular and they're so personal. How do you generalize it? How do you universalize it? How do you will come up this. We came up across this in 2015 and we tried to do that. So these few things which we had done, and there were 20-25 institutions who were impaneled throughout India who were doing it at the grassroots level. So this is something you have to think of. It's intractable. I mean, you may do training, you may get numbers. And then the next thing we wanted was, if I've trained him as a sweeper or as a water plumber or something, what are people saying? Has the services improved? See, why are you doing training? So services improve, ultimately people.
Absolutely.
So you have to capture two things. Does the trainee himself feel 3 months working? You ask them the question, how much have you used? And the next is, people, has anything changed? His behavior changed? Is he more polite? Otherwise, where you going?
No, you're right, sir. I think, sir, it's a work in progress. I think data we have. I think you're right. I think in terms of the change, we need to work more on this. I agree, sir.
In numbers you'll get 1.5 lakh, 2 lakh. You also used to get every 3 months. But when we went in and we found all this, then we found the quality was not there. I mean, we were doing something. Some training was happening, they were coming, but it was not helping them in the work. And number two, it was not going up to the citizens. Yeah. Now, Dr. Sudhir Krishna has some comments, please.
I wanted, you see, very rightly, Dr. Samir has said that, at the end of it, what is gained. So the thing is, we have to have the identification of training need assessment also, assessment of the training needs before we uniformly propose, and different levels. I just want to share one instance, mass scale training, what you mentioned about. So in 2010, I was additional secretary in Ministry of Panchayati Raj, and we had a program for capacity building for local governments there, for panchayat institutions. And as it happens, we had a lot of money actually under different programs running into tens of crores of rupees, and expenditure was not even 5% of that, because people did not know how to do about training panchayat representatives. And there were lakhs of them. So what we did, one experiment we made, and madam, you mentioned about the procurement of training institutions. Now, of course, 2017 in Government of India, manual of procurement of services has come. 17. Before that, there was no manual also. At that time, there was no manual how to procure services. So what we did was, we had a unique program from UNDP where leeway was more, degree of freedom with me was more. I did not have to refer to IFA and so on and so forth. So long as I do the thing right way as per the GFR, it is okay. I don't have to refer to. So using that, we developed the manuals for procurement of training institutions. Ourselves, we did in-house. We prepared. Of course, not alone, somebody did. We took the help of some institutions, like some banks and so on. And then with that, and we notified that we will propose to conduct 3-day training program for all panchayat members in the whole country. All panchayat members. Some 20 lakh number listed. And then we did not, because SIRD is totally inadequate. They had no capacity to do even 20,000. 20 lakh is a big number. And so, I think, sir, you were there, you were there. He was in charge of Panchayat in Orissa. And we advertised in the paper saying that any institution which is willing to participate in this I invited, and we conducted training program in Ashoka Hotel, the big convention hall, the biggest hall in Delhi at that time. It was there. I don't know, today bigger halls have come up. And then a lot of people came. The hall was full. Hall was full of all NGOs and institutions. Of course, government institutions are very few. Lot of NGOs came, and we told them, look here, the training program will be there, but entirely as per state acts and rules. Don't go on preaching panchayat members about 73rd, 74th amendment, okay? Because they have to follow the state laws, which are under the 73rd, 74th. Don't bother about the constitution. That is taken care of in the state laws and manual. You follow that, and state government will give you the training program. 3-day training program, this is a scale. We will provide the scale, because funds we are funding, scale we provided. And then we said that now we all explained whatever has to be done. And then we said that in the evening, 2 minutes on, in the evening, all the institutions should make up their mind which state they want to follow, want to participate. And tomorrow morning we will meet, and there are desk round table. So on this side, the state government officers, on that side, the institutions who wanted to participate for that state. They met. Then in your state bhavan, go and have lunch. They had lunch in the state bhavan, and then as you participate in the bidding process, those who are interested, they will participate. And I tell you that the 3-day training program, I cannot vouch for uniform quality, but the emotional part, that panchayat members felt that they were taken for training somewhere, itself was a training. The feeling was there, I was considered good enough for training. As we mentioned, we don't know what to do. And 20 lakh persons were trained. It is the first. I do not know why it was not repeated, because my term was over, training was over, we got report, it was done, and so on. And no complaint came of mismanagement of funds, etc. So I'm just telling you that it is possible, but state training framework has to be adopted for state programs of local bodies. It cannot be central framework. That's the suggestion. Thank you.
So your KPI should not be number. Your KPI should be, did it make a difference to the citizen? And your KPI should be, did that person say, yes, I'm empowered, I performed better? And you see the results. Then you will really know what is the need assessment. Just change your KPI from numbers to this, see what happens. We struggled. Yeah. So I think that is what we'll end now. And I'll leave the last words to our chairperson.
Now, let me say formally that yes, now we are going to conclude this session, and very, very enriching discussions which have taken place. A lot of key points have come up. Of course, some as a solution, some as a kind of a roadmap also to how to go ahead further. Few also came with regard to the constraints which we basically highlighted. But yes, some of them are relevant, and we are trying to actually consolidate each and every such important inputs, so that we will be in a position to present it before the Honorable Minister tomorrow. And yeah, that's the main point. And also I would like to express my thanks to each one of the panelist members over here for your such a precious time you have given. You enriched the discussion, gave your suggestions and various other inputs as well. I am also thankful to all the participants who have stayed with us so far and who have listened to us. Yes, some of them have also given, raised some questions, very important questions, and very good points also you made. Thankful to my NIUA partners, all who have done a lot of work in the background and made this particular breakout session a very, very successful one, rather I can say. And to my capacity building team in Mahua, thanks a lot for coming over here and then making everything possible. So thank you once again to the moderator, especially Sir, Samir Sir. Thank you so much for always supporting me and always coming forward and moderating this particular session. Thanks to each and every one of you. Thank you.